Hi everyone, this is Cindy. Are you a fan of the scarf coat trend this year? But however, you don't really want to go to get a scarf coat because there might be a few things lingering at the back of your mind. What if the scarf gets dirty quite easily? How am I going to clean it? I can't just take that to the dry cleaners every week. And also, what if this trend is gone? And what am I going to do about the scarf coat? So if you have a few things that you're concerned about a scarf coat, in my video today, I have a few good tips and demonstration on how to turn just a regular coat like this and into a scarf coat. So if this is you, and stay tuned and let's dive into it. So this is the coat I'm going to use for the demonstration how I'm going to turn this coat into a scarf coat. This is from Massimo Dutti 3 years ago. You can see this is just a rope coat. There's no shoulder pads, there's no lining, so it's basically just double-faced wool material. This could just a very basic style, like all the elements of a coat, like the lapel, collar, and there's a couple of pockets. And this one I really love is that it have a side slit on either side, and it has a belt. So this is the coat with the belt on. Quite a longish coat, and I quite like the length, and it's oversized look. Underneath basically just like a roll neck neat top and a pair of very basic black wide legged trousers. And this is the Vivaya Rita boots. They're so comfortable and so easy to work in. I have been wearing this a lot. To turn it into a scarf coat, all you need is basically just add a scarf to it that having a similar color. So for me, I have been using the nearest color scarf to it because this one is slightly a little bit too pale. It doesn't look like too integrated when you wear this, so I'm going to use this scarf. So basically just a scarf, like a wool scarf you can get from any shop or anywhere. It doesn't have to be from a certain place. And so this one has no brand, nothing. It just because I think the color matches quite well with the coat. So all I need to do is put a scarf over your coat and then tack the shorter end under either this side of under the lapel, or you just basically wrap it under the other side of the lapel, or you can move this slightly a little bit over and have the tassel just go let it between the shoulder and the other side of the scarf. So make sure that it secures it. If you really want it to be secured onto it properly, like you can put maybe a brooch and maybe a safety pin and just pin it onto the coat, and then I would hide the tassels a little bit, and then just basically throw this part over the shoulder. So there we go. Here is our scarf coat. Then take it back, there is the outfit. So you can see how easy and how effective this is. And you can just adjust the collar area to make it give a little bit of kind of like runched sort of a look to it. You can see this is the scarf. And it instantly turned it into a scarf coat. I mean, if you say this is one coat and no one would just questioning about it, because for the scarf coat, now it's super hot and super in, very on trend, everyone is having it. But maybe a few years later, this trend might go. But however, if you got a scarf coat that is the collar and the coat integrated, and probably you wouldn't want to wear it again. And also another problem is that with the scarf here, if it's a coat material, it wraps the chin. If you wear makeup, you'll be forever have to taking it to the dry cleaners to get this scarf bit cleaned. So I always suggest that if you really want to go for a scarf coat, make sure that the scarf is detachable from your main coat. So therefore you can dry clean the scarf, or maybe wash the scarf yourself, and doesn't matter, you have to take the whole coat into the dry cleaners, or you have to wash the whole thing. So just one practical advice or tip for you. So as if it's a scarf and if it gets rubbed like makeup onto it, and you just hand wash it with some soft wool detergent and hang it dry, and then give a quick steam, and then you can throw it on again, so it doesn't really matter. So this is the scarf coat. So here's the scarf coat before and after, and then you can see it doesn't really move at all, because this material is thinner, and then the coat material is more likely to stay on, because I do have scarf coat, and but the material is the same as the coat material, because it's quite thick for coat materials. It's constantly slips off, so you have to constantly pushing it, because I've been doing this method like since last winter, so I thought this is such an easy way, and also saving lots of money to buy a scarf coat just for, for the scarf's sake. If you already have a scarf, or if you're going out to just get a scarf, it's not going to cost as much. Therefore, is a much more budget-friendly way to transform an existing older coat into something new and bring it into the current season, 2025 winter, one of those hottest trends, which is the scarf coat. I mean, this trend has been around for a few years, but this year has been blown out everywhere. So therefore, if you want to follow this trend, I mean, it does look quite glamorous and looks quite demure, very feminine, and creates that little bit of mystery with the scarf all over it. And if you want to wear a bucket hat, or you want to, really fashion forward, you can wear the pillbox hat, and it just makes it such a fashion forward look. And with a big bag, with a tote bag, and then you're ready to go. So if I want to throw a bucket hat over my head, and then I can. So this is something that it just feels very on trend and very fashion forward. And if you have different colored coats, basically you can just use the same formula. If you have a black coat, throw a black scarf over it. If you have a brown coat, throw a brown scarf over it, and etc, and so on. So it just basically, you want to do it this way. Or if you don't have this sort of long scarf, and you can maybe perhaps do a large triangle scarf that can create the same look. Again, let me just quickly show you, and with a brown coat. So this is the brown Zara suede jacket that I've been wearing quite a lot lately, and this is new. I got this in the autumn, and I have been wearing this quite a lot. I've also done a video about this, how to wear a brown suede jacket. So this is the jacket without a scarf. I find this jacket very flattering. I mean, it doesn't have to be a suede jacket. If you have a wool blazer, like, for the winter, and thicker material, you can just still throw that scarf over. And so this is just something that that I have near me, so I'm just using this as an example. And then if you want to have a tone on tone again, I think it's preferably to be tone on tone, but you can see this one is slightly a different color, like a different brown. So this is really, really dark chocolate brown, and this is also like a I don't know, slightly a little bit, you know, in a lighter shade. So what I do is that because this is quite a decent sized scarf, and it's triangle scarf. I also did video about this. Triangle scarf is one of the hottest accessories of this autumn winter season. So what I do about to turn it into a scarf coat is that basically, again, one side is smaller, one side is bigger. It doesn't matter which side, but me, I just prefer it this side, maybe because I'm a right-handed person. And then for this one, let's tuck it under here, because you tuck it under the lapel, and you know, if you want to do it, you can just tuck it under there. It secures it so it doesn't move. So if you're not going to tuck it and this dangling bit, it might move around, but I always prefer it just to tuck it under so the lapel can press it down the loose end, and then just through this end over. You can see instantly is a scarf jacket. And this one, because this is a blazer, this blazer got shoulder pads, you can see that, you can see the edge of it, and I think it creates quite a smart look as well. And is it super easy, cost nothing if you already have these items in your wardrobe. Even though you want to go out to buy some, you can get these from Amazon. I saw them similar on Amazon, and you can get them from Temu. You can get them from, you know, loads of high street shops. They don't cost more than £25. And but obviously, if you want to get a wool one, like from COS or Arcade or Massimo Dutti, they could be pushing up to £100. But if you do not want to spend too much money, you can go onto Amazon or Temu, or just search for some other high street shops that has a slightly less price tag. So you can see that it's just something that it brings the look into the current season. And then again, the same bag. And with the same clothes underneath. It's such an easy look. So if I wanted to, I'll put a bucket hat on, and to be a little bit more fashion forward, because the pillbox hat is something that it doesn't suit me. However, the bucket hat is something that I wouldn't mind from wearing. Or if I want to, I can put this pair of sunglasses on, just make it a little bit more fashion forward. And this look is Instagram worthy. So this is another way of creating your own scarf coat without have to go out to buy a scarf coat. Just use whatever you have in your wardrobe and to create this look. And I hope you enjoyed today's video and enjoy the different ways that I've transformed a coat into a scarf coat. You can use the same method for a jacket, so they both should work. And you can see that this is not only just save us money and also bring us into the current season, and it doesn't really cost much at all if you already have these items. So it's just something that is really a cost-effective way of turning and something in your existing wardrobe into something really trendy. Sorry, that's my cat. He wants to get in. But anyways, so if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, and I would love to have you here on my channel. And please check back, because I post long form videos weekly, and I post OOTD outfit ideas throughout the week in shorts, and the topics that I discuss is mainly fashion related. I do bag reviews, shoe reviews, jewelry reviews, and also I do like different outfits, how to wear a single item, and so I do loads of those. And so if this is something for you, please check back and subscribe. And until my next video, I'll see you then. Bye.